Hey, so if you're like me, everything in your life needs to be categorized and organized, which is why I made a decision 3 years ago to never carry a receipt again. So here's my workflow. So based on my own research and a bunch of experimenting, this is the easiest, quickest, most reliable and easy to access way of storing your receipts online in order to get access to them on any device in about 10 to 15 seconds as an end result. And I'm going to show you that too at the end of the video. So basically on what I'm going to call from now on the front end, which is how you are interacting with this in order to make it work, i.e. the scanning of the receipt and then pushing that to Dropbox, you're going to need an iPhone, you're going to need Scanbot Pro, and you're going to need a Dropbox subscription. So what I'm going to refer to now is called the back end, which means it's the part that does all the thinking for you, and after you've set it up, you don't need to pay any more attention to it than that. So that's going to involve a MacBook. You're going to want to have Dropbox integrated into Finder. It just streamlines everything and makes it 10 times easier for your computer to do this in about 10 to 15 seconds, as well as some automating software called Hazel. So that again integrates into system preferences and makes it that much more snappy to work with. I know this probably sounds like a mouthful, and you're probably thinking right now, why am I doing this? It's probably just easy to carry receipts. If I just have my receipt on me, that's just going to be easier. But as with most of the stuff I do, it's a real headache to get to the point where it becomes easy. But once it becomes easy, it becomes crazy simple. You get into this workflow where you take a photo, you press send, and then it's done. And you don't need to think about it again until you go, oh, I mean, I don't remember the date that I purchased it on. I don't remember the name of the item, but I remember how much I paid for it, or I remember what card I paid for it with, and simply by entering that information into Spotlight on your iPhone, bang, you've got the receipt. And then in 5 to 10 seconds, you can show the clerk. And that's really what the end goal was for me, and I think it worked pretty well. So let's jump in. Okay, cool. So we're on our iPhone and you've just downloaded Scanbot. What you're gonna wanna do is open it up, hit cancel, go over here into settings, and you're gonna wanna associate your Dropbox account with it. So basically what you do is you go into the Dropbox section, go down to cloud servers here, and just sign in through it. It's a pretty self-explanatory process. Then basically just come back to here, go back into cloud services because I think it'll throw you out. And you want to click folder, and I think by default it'll actually say, hey, do you want to create a Scanbot folder? But if not, just create a folder in your main Dropbox directory called Scanbot, and then say, hey, this is where I want to throw my stuff, hit upload here, then go back to the main screen. So I'm just going to kill Scanbot so that we can actually show you what it's going to look like every time you run it. So we open Scanbot right here, right after we've purchased a new item. We're going to bring the receipt in here. We're just going to use this manual as just a copy, a lookalike, because it's roughly the same shape. And then we're going to get Scanbot and we're going to bring it over the top here. And basically what Scanbot is going to do is it's going to look at the photo for you and it's going to say, hey, I can see a contrasted background on top of white, and white is what I want to look at. So it'll crop the background out so that you've got this nice clean finish to the outside of the photo. And then on top of that, it's going to throw a black and white filter on top of that, up the contrast a bit to get rid of those shitty scanners sometimes that you get at places that you might go to. And now we've got pretty much our finished photo. All we're going to want to do at this point now is name it something that's kind of resembling what we actually just did it for, you know. So we're just going to go EOS 70D manual. Awesome, hit done, hit save. And now once we've set the next part up, which is what I've referred to as the back end, this is all you're going to need to do, guys. It is that simple. You open your phone, you take a photo, you hit done, and it is done, just like that. All right, now let's jump over to the MacBook and see what's going on. Cool, so we've jumped over into our MacBook here, and we want to open System Preferences after we've installed Hazel. Just give it a bit of a click, see if anything's all up and running. This is awesome. So basically, Hazel is just a piece of automation software that just says, hey, this thing is here, we're looking at it, we want to move it into this folder, give it this name, and only pull certain types. So awesome. So basically what we have here is our Scanbot folder. So we're looking at Scanbot, and these are the rules that we're applying to it over here on the right. So we just want to create one rule, which we've already done here. Open this and call it sort into years and months. Then basically, this is actually, it looks a bit scary. I thought it was a bit scary too at the start, but it's actually really simple. So what we're doing is we're just saying, look at all of the files here, and if they are PDFs, that's great, which Scanbot exports anyway. And then we want to create our first rule here and say, move this into a subfolder, which you already want to create in Dropbox called scans. You can see it in the background here. Then you want to click the plus over on the right and create a second one here called sort into subfolder, which is a part of the drop down here near the top. And then you want to click into this little box over here on the right. So basically this is just saying we want to sort it into a subfolder that you're going to create for me that is going to have the date created on it in the form of what year it is. And then in that subfolder, create another subfolder with a date created again, which basically then has the month of it. So I'll just give you a quick little demo of what this actually looks like. So all of that just says, look at Scanbot, sort that file that you're taking, any PDF that's put in the Scanbot folder, bring it over here into scans, and then you can see that it's created 2017, 2018, 2019, and then basically it's created the year subfolder, then from that it's created the month subfolder, and then this is where it's putting everything. Awesome, so now let's jump back into Hazel because step 1 is complete. Okay, awesome. So now what we've got here is we go back into this one and we can see that this part, it's done correctly. And now basically what we want to do is then rename that folder that's then been put in the year subfolder that's then been put in the month subfolder. We click into this box again and we want to rename it to the current date just for ease of access in the future. And we say that we want it to be year, month, day. You can do it in any order. I just prefer this order because it just goes, for example, 2019 1103, and it's just a simple name format that you know. I put a hyphen in here, which just then like adds another layer just to make it easier for you. And you want to go name, so it's just going to pull the name that you've already given it, which is why I said that you should probably take that out of Scanbot because it's just going to complicate the process in here. And when you're out and about, you don't want to mess around going, oh, what's the date today? You just want to name it, hit send, and it's done, and then your MacBook's going to take care of it. So it's going to grab the name, and then it's going to keep the extension that it already was, which was the PDF. I do recommend that you put this in because sometimes I've taken photos of things without it, and then it's put it across here into the MacBook, and it's gone, hang on, I don't know what the actual extension is here. Is it a PDF? Is it a PNG? So it just can't read the file. So I do recommend actually keeping the extension on, hit done, hit OK, and that's basically it. I know you can see that I've got 2 others here. These are basically just for copying different file types and different things that I want to do with them. So basically Hazel is done now, which is great. So from start to finish, what we've done is we've taken a photo in Scanbot. Scanbot has then pushed that into the Scanbot photo on Dropbox once it's linked. Then once it's in here, it takes that, puts it into the subfolder by year, into the subfolder by month. Then what it's doing is changing the name, as we can see here, as it is done. It's gone 2019-01-21, that's the current date, separated it with a hyphen, then the name that we've done here, and then it's added the extension onto the end, which is absolutely amazing. So now in future, all you're going to need to do is pull up your phone, open Scanbot, take the photo, it'll auto crop it, you put the name in, you hit done, and then it just does everything. And you can see, you know, I've got the last 3 years of everything here. Every, you know, different types of car receipts. They're all indexed here. I believe as well as Scanbot doing an OCR, Dropbox also does an OCR, which actually makes this next part even cooler, which is the 10 to 15 second part, which I was telling you about. So I'll just show you quickly how that works. So basically, what's a good example? Oh, okay, so I gave my phone to Mazuma a while ago. I just wasn't using it anymore. So basically, all I can just type in, I can just go into the search bar here and basically type in Mazuma. Awesome, and it's found that by looking through all of the indexes and everything. It's probably just found it through the name here, so let's give it something a bit more difficult to do. Let's see. We have, let's look at the order number. So we've got A208, and let's just basically make it work off that. So we go back and we're going A208, hit enter, bang, it's found it instantly. And we have it open here. You can basically just do the same thing on Spotlight. Based on how new your iPhone is too, you can do the same thing, I believe. It's just going to take a bit longer if you have all the models or anything. Yeah, so that is basically the end of the tutorial. I hope you guys have really liked this. It's something that I personally love. I use it every single day when I'm out and about, just as a quick thing to go bang, 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 and done. And then I can come home and I don't need to think about it. I actually get in the process now where I take it and then I get the receipt and I just throw it away because it is so much more simple. Well, I say simple. It's so much more simple after being complicated to get to this point where it's done. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. So let me know what you think in the comments. See you guys.